Hello everybody, I'm KZ. Welcome back to Let's Play Trauma Team. In the last one, what did we do last time? We're trying to investigate stuff related to, possibly this ancient skeleton thing that seems to be causing the essential plague that's going on in Portland. And I guess we gotta go investigate the skeleton. It's been a while since I recorded, so forgive me. Let us restore the skull. Oh, this will be easier. Thought it'd be a bit more difficult. Maybe we gotta do, maybe it outlines and we have to do the whole thing. So. Let's see. Oh, it like changed, it isn't a full rotation. That's interesting. I thought it was gonna be an entire thing that I had to do, like, completely 3D movement, but it isn't.
All the fragments that were given to me have been placed. Does this mean there's a missing piece of bone? In any case, the skull can't be fully put together in this state. Unless the missing section is found, there's nothing more that can be done to this skull.
That was, well, it was an adventure, I guess. That was like I just recorded 18 minutes of me putting together a skull. Oh man, I'm exhausted. Next time Let's Play Trauma, no, we're not doing that. I'm probably gonna, I am definitely going to speed that up. As fast as humanly possible. So, we're missing a piece of the skull. So, stands to reason we have to figure out why a piece is missing, but we have other mysteries we can mess with. Check effects. Seems to be a man suit? Yes.
This. It's a bloodstain. Could it belong to this individual? If it was caused by physical trauma, then there's something unusual about it. That would be...
that the, poor fashion sense. It would be that there is no clothing damage.
Yes. There's no damage to the clothing. Either there's a reason why, or this blood didn't come from this person.
What else do we have here? Alright, counts as the same thing on the chest. Nothing in the legs. Nothing inside the sleeves. And nothing inside the collar. Okay, the dirt on the pants doesn't catch any attention. So, that's it. There doesn't seem to be anything else of interest. At least as far as I can tell. Okay. Maybe see what we can put together, I guess? I don't know. Strange bone fragment.
The missing area of skull is the section from the mental tubercle to the angle. Chloe had swallowed pieces of human bone. Don't tell me.
So the cat had swallowed a piece of this thing's skull. This thing's very finicky, by the way. Just thought I'd let you know. Yeah.
So it was like I thought. After Chloe swallowed the bone fragments, the mysterious foci appeared in her body. There's something in this bone, some kind of pathogen.
So, these bones have the evil inside.
Oh, Dr. Kimishima, that man came by a moment ago.
That man? Who are you talking about?
The, friendly guy. He said something about having finished reconstructing the body.
Ah, you mean Gabe. All right.
I've gone ahead and put the skull with the rest of the skeleton. You can look at them whenever you like.
Good, you're on top of things. Can you tell me what you've observed from it?
Oh, right. There wasn't much to get from the body, though. The person was roughly 185 centimeters tall. A histologic examination of the bone detected 15 types of amino acids remaining. There was also a very high concentration of nitrogen. I've sent the results of the analysis to your computer. Please check it out when you need to.
Good, I'll look into it. It's possible to examine the body now, too.
Bone nitrogen concentration. Alright. Well, guess we can examine the body. Okay. Let's examine the perfectly restored question mark corpse. Okay, that doesn't get your attention. How about the bruises?
What is this damage to the joint? It's hard to think that an external force could cause this kind of effect.
Huh.
Yes. The femur is completely broken. But why? In the human skeleton, the femur is...
The hardest bone. And the tastiest. In case you didn't know, that's actually true. Femur is the pretty much your best bone in your body. You break the femur, you're man.
Yes. It was the same in the case when that girl Veronica was thrown off the bridge. But the femur is the strongest among all the bones in the human body. What could have broken this so easily?
I don't know, Karate Man or something? I'm not really giving you answers here. Nothing in particular for that catches your attention for some reason.
What's this? These scratches on the bone look like an area that's been shaved off. Looks like I need to look into what caused this damage.
I'll do another pass and see if there's anything else to look at. Otherwise, I'll just give these to Naval/little guy and he can tell me, hey, I'ma go look into this, lady. Oops. That's my alarm. My bad. I may or may not use an alarm that plays the Super Mario Brothers Invincible noise. KZ, why'd you forget? You know, turn it off at least. It's gonna go off again. God damn it. Okay.
Hey, little guy, can you analyze this marking here?
Yes, of course. Let's see.
How does it look? Can you learn anything from it?
Yes, first of all, the damage was done recently. There's no discoloration on the bone tissue in the area that had been damaged.
I see. Does this mean that whatever happened here occurred after the person died?
That's right. I don't think it could have happened any other way. From looking at the damaged area, it seems the bone had been shaved away using a tool, like a router.
A router? The only reason I would expect that to happen would be...
The reason why a section of the bone researched at USAMRIID had been shaved off was to obtain a sample.
That's right. The staff at USAMRIID was using this bone for research. There's a good chance they shaved a sample from the bone in order to study it.
Yes, you need small fragments for the high-detail analysis. That's likely what happened to this bone.
Wait a second.
What's wrong?
The researcher at USAMRIID was infected while he was studying this bone. Using a router on the bone would cause particles of pulverized bone to be ejected in the air. If the researcher came down with the disease after performing that procedure, then
he's infected all of Hyrule.
Little guy, I need this damage analyzed.
Right away. This...
What's the matter?
Nothing. A bone abrasion caused this damage.
Bone abrasion? What do you mean?
Normally, wherever bones meet, there's a layer of fibrocartilage. In this case, the knee, that pad is known as the meniscus. That prevents damage like this from occurring in most people's bodies. The signs of wear I see here are consistent with the bones grinding together.
So these abrasions here were apparently caused by...
Meniscus was gone.
Indeed. This would mean that the meniscus was lost while the person was still alive and moving. But what would cause this to happen?
I guess that plague-like stuff was deteriorating everything. Have you look at everything
I need
here.
this bone analyzed, little guy. Be careful with it. There's a danger of infection.
Whoa, can you warn me a little sooner next time? Give me a moment, please. Let's see here.
Well, did you find anything?
No, I've checked it out, but there's nothing especially unusual about it.
Is that so? That's odd.
What's so odd about that?
This is the bone that Chloe swallowed. When she did, the same black focus that the patients in the quarantine zone had showed up inside her body. According to what Gabe said, the serviceman who had been investigating this bone
Had hemorrhagic fever.
So, in other words, the pathogen lurking in this bone is...
A deadly virus.
Right. This bone carries a virus that triggers the hemorrhagic fever.
Virus? But this is just a skeleton. A virus requires living cells from its host in order to multiply. So, this virus not only survives the host's death, but can continue within a skeletonized corpse.
Can you really say that such a thing is impossible?
But
That's not like you. Calm down, little guy. Everything we've seen up until now has taught us something. That there are diseases out there in the world that defy all our understanding and what we think of as common sense.
All right. Let's assume that it is a virus. That doesn't mean that all the mysteries have been solved. How does this virus live inside this skeleton? And why aren't we infected with the hemorrhagic fever after we've handled the bones?
I really can't say at this point. It's possible this person was infected with the virus, or perhaps the skeleton had been contaminated after death. In any case, we'll need to continue investigating this in more detail.
Right.
However, I can explain why you and I haven't contracted the hemorrhagic fever.
What? How?
Well, according to what Gabe was told by the assistant secretary,
Let's see. Airborne infection is impossible. That doesn't make sense. Spraying infection, blood infection, oral infection?
concentrate.
Is it airborne? Okay.
That's right. They concluded that an airborne infection was impossible.
Then how's everyone getting infected? I didn't want to think it was airborne because everyone keeps getting it.
This was because the infection wasn't spreading within USAMRIID.
That makes sense.
If that's the case, it's unlikely that the virus is dispersed through a respiratory vector.
Then how does it spread?
Well, in Chloe's case, the foci were located in areas where...
The foci that formed Chloe's were located only in the stomach. No, what are you talking about? I never said that. I said only in the intestinal tubes. What are you talking about? I would have never said that. I meant under the bone fragments. Excellent reasoning.
Indeed. The black foci only existed in areas that the bone fragments were in contact with. Taking that into consideration, this virus's route of infection is...
Mother-to-child transmission? No. Why would I ever say that? I meant to say mucous membrane contact. Haha, I'm smart. Guys, give me a break. I'm sorry.
Yes. In other words, the virus only has a limited means of transmission.
I see. That explains the cat's case, at least. But what about the USAMRIID researcher? I highly doubt that he'd be chewing on bones.
Good point. There must be an explanation for how that other serviceman was infected as well.
Well, when he shaves the thing, right? So wouldn't these go together?
That's right. Now we're starting to see how the serviceman at USAMRIID was infected as well.
Yep.
The virus rests within that skeleton. The route of infection is...
Mucous membranes. I like psychic power,
Yes.
though.
It's when it comes in contact with a mucous membrane. Reaching a mucous membrane within the mouth or body causes the virus to infect that person. But there's no way that a researcher would lick or swallow a bone. However, the USAMRIID staff did collect a bone sample for their research. In order to obtain that sample, the researcher...
Shaved the bone. I wish he washed it, though.
Right. He used a router to shave away a portion of the bone. This is likely what caused the researcher to be infected. The reason for this is...
Inhaled the bone powder. There we go.
Yes. Shaving bone with a router causes particles of bone dust to fly out into the air. It's likely that the researcher inhaled some of that powder while he was working. The powder then carried the infection and made contact with the mucous membranes. That is my hypothesis to explain the infection of the USAMRIID researcher.
Alright. It's not proof, it's a hypothesis.
Little guy, I need you to analyze something.
Of course. Is this a bloodstain?
Right. I need you to check the skeleton's DNA and see if that blood came from the same person.
No problem. give me a moment.
Do you have the results yet, little guy?
Hey, don't rush me, please. Ah, the results just came in. It seems that the DNA matches. The blood's from the same person.
Huh, I see. If that's the case, what kind of hemorrhaging is it? If this hemorrhaging wasn't caused by physical trauma, then...
Possibly vomited blood in it landed in the chest area. We've seen that a lot with the people that keep dying in those cutscenes. These bloods came from the body. What would cause the hemorrhaging? Anything else you can check? This possesses this person is lacking that protection. Gotta get this tested.
Little guy, can I bother you for a moment?
Yes, of course. How may I help you?
I want your opinion on this fractured femur.
Oh, okay. Just a second.
Well, anything?
Well... Huh. What's this? This bone is hollow on the inside. I'm not surprised it broke if it was like this.
Did this fracture occur while the person was still alive?
I can't say about the fracture, but the loss in bone density must have occurred while the person lived.
It seems safe to assume that the fracture was caused by the decrease in bone density then.
Decrease in bone density. Decreased bone density. Oh, okay. Here we go. Here we go.
Abnormal decrease in bone density with the lack of cartilage. What we can deduce from these two events is...
Weakened skeletal system.
Yes. Both these conditions indicate a weakening of the skeletal system. Furthermore, I believe that both these processes happened while the person was still alive. If these conditions allow us to infer anything, it would be that this person was severely debilitated by the time of death.
Okay, weakened skeleton, dust-borne infection. Alright, no relation there. And just run them at everything. Okay, don't really seem to have anything else. He won't check this. Will you check the weakened skeleton further? And will you check dust-borne infection further? He will not check anything at this point. We are still missing things. Let's go in here and see if we get any prompts whenever we try to check each thing. See if we're missing evidence. Seems everything I can learn from the body. Okay. I need to double check, you know, in case he ain't making mistakes anymore. Okay, there is still something in here that I have missed.
Is this a key?
I just checked the pocket for posterity's sake.
Maybe little guy will be able to find out something about it. Is this a syringe? And drugs?
Whoa.
If this skeleton belonged to someone with a criminal history, whoever this is might be kept in the FBI's criminal database. If I ask little guy about this, it might be easy to find out just who this person is.
Okay, now we have all the evidence we need to, like, you know, move on with this whole case. You know, check your pockets, everybody. Pockets are important.
Little guy, I need you to analyze something.
Yes, of course. Oh, what's this?
I found this in the deceased's personal articles. I get the feeling that it may be drugs.
I see. So you want me to run this through our criminal database?
You're good at picking up on these things.
This is the kind of thing that we do at the FBI, after all. I'll look into what's in these ampules and see if the syringe has been used. It's going to take a while, so you'll have to give me time.
Of course. I'll keep investigating the corpse.
Alright.
Hey, little guy. Can you tell me what this key is for?
A key. Let's see. This is a very unique key. It involves magnetism.
Magnets? What could a key like that be used for?
Probably a safe or something else high security. Well, there's a number on it as well.
I see. Can you find out where whatever it goes to is located?
I can look into it, but
What's wrong? Is there a problem?
we don't have a clue where this key came from. It'll take a long time to find out any specifics about where this key goes.
That's fine. It's still better than me trying to find this out by myself, right?
Well, we are a nationwide organization. Fine, I'll take the key.
I'll let you handle this then.
Well, that's literally everything now. Like, that's everything again. We're out. I can't think of anything else we can connect. Like, there's no point in trying to connect any of these. That would just be exhausting everything, right? Yeah, that seems to be everything we have. What else would there be to analyze or look at? Or did she want me to actually look at the corpse? No, she doesn't. Don't examine the void. Usually I find that I've done everything right at this point, but... yeah, she's finished investigating, so everything I have is here, but looks like every combination of doing things with items the little guy gave is not really, you know, working out here. Getting a little concerned. I'm hitting left. This is literally all of the evidence we have. You won't take anything else. Will you investigate the deceased voice? Damn it! We have reached a dead end, Internet. Oh. Oh, now you will look at it. God damn it.
Haven't I already analyzed this for you, Dr. Kimishima?
This is why I didn't do it earlier.
Yes, but I want to know more details.
Like what?
We know now that the bloodstain comes from the same person as these bones, but there was no obvious damage to the deceased's clothing. Can you investigate in detail into what kind of hemorrhaging would have caused that bloodstain?
I see. All right. Can you give me some time for that, please?
Of course. I'll be counting on you.
Dr. Kimishima, the analysis of the syringe is complete.
The syringe. The one that was in the case?
Oh, yes. It's about that. Interferon, acyclovir, ribavirin, lamivudine.
Slow down a second. What are you talking about?
It's the medicines that were confirmed to be in the syringe and the ampules.
All that was in there?
Seriously, I don't understand. Every antiviral drug on record is in this list.
Antiviral drugs.
There was even an ampule of Ashvin's in there, too.
Ashvin's?
It's a medicine that hasn't been fully authorized by the FDA. It's an excellent antiviral drug, but there were some problems with side effects.
Huh. Just what were these reported side effects?
Okay, let's see. Ashvin's is an antiviral drug. It draws on the patient's calcium to suppress viral activities. If used in excess, the subject will become calcium deficient. The body then draws calcium from the bones and it leads to all sorts of complications.
A drug that robs calcium from the bones.
Well, that isn't its purpose, of course, but that is what happens.
I see. Something bothers me about this, though. The deceased had a large amount of antiviral drugs in his possession, along with a dangerous, unapproved drug that caused calcium deficiency in the human body.
And screwed over the bones, and this guy has some issue with bones. So we're gonna make some conclusive evidence in the next video, because we're gonna end now. Well, we've gotten quite a bit of information. We've reconstructed the skull and learned ridiculous amount of information about our victim here. So next time on Let's Play Trauma Team, we will continue. That's it. That's it, guys. I gotta go. I gotta go home. I'm not a doctor.